All right, there go the chat. My fault, my fault. Now we back. Now we back. Let me get one thing. Turn it off. And these two. There we go. 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 Share this thing out one time. My fault, y'all. My fault. Forgot the little chat thing. Forgot the little chat bubble. Gotta have a chat bubble. Running back. There you go. Shared and shared. We are good to go. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? All right, man. Had a little whoops daisy, you know what I mean? But we in this thing. We live and direct. How y'all feeling out there? Interesting. I got some articles to read. I don't know if any of y'all seen the news coming out about Beethoven being black. That I found that very, very funny. You know what I mean? The truth is coming out. The truth is coming out. You know what I'm talking about? I think that's in here. I don't know offhand. But if you don't know, if you don't have this book, 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof by J.A. Rogers. Amazing book. Amazing book, man. Beethoven is black, as they say. I said, well, if you found that interesting, you should look up Alexander Pushkin. That's even more interesting. You know what I'm talking about? So how y'all doing out there, man? How's everybody? I was saying before I was tapping in and checking, see how people were doing. It's been kind of crazy going on, a lot of crazy stuff going on within this country and the world, really. And it can be stressful. You know what I mean? I know I've been stressed. And I said, well, you know what? Let me just tap in and see how folks is doing. You know what I mean? Spread some positive energy. I wanted to read a couple things, but nothing major. I didn't have, some, big, well thought out lesson. Just a couple of things I wanted to read. I just wanted to see how everybody is doing, man. Let's see what's happening. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, 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 peace. All right. I see. Well, the brother, what you online late talking about? Man, we gonna get into some things. Let's see. I want to say a reminder, get some water, stock up on some water, some food, health supplies if you can, Band-Aids, bandages, peroxide, rubbing alcohol. You know what I mean? If you can, just buy, a supply of water, a package of water once a week, stock up, some rice, some beans, black beans in particular. Shout out to Moros y Cristianos. Good meal right there. But let's stock up on the food, stock up on some first aid kind of supplies, um, stock up on some books, you know what I mean? Some actual physical books if you can. You know what I mean? This is very important. Let me think what else. Is there anything else? I'm gonna be learning how to grow food. I feel like everyone should be learning how to grow something. Um, whatever it is, if it's just one herb, be the master of growing that one herb. You know what I mean? You got that down to a science, and you anywhere you go, you can just set up, boom, 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 and get to work. Because we need to know how to grow our own food. Um, that is essential. Um, yeah. Did anybody? I seen some comments. Bullets too. I disagree about the guns. But before I get to that, um, did anyone have any questions? Shoot the questions real quick. I'm gonna read the couple of things that I had. Then get to the questions real quick. Um, let's go with the dictionary first. Boom. Just real quick. American Dictionary of the English Language, Noah Webster, 1828. I had this song called "Sunny," and fireworks. Well, that's a whole nother issue. Anyways, I put out this project called Bunchy Carter Grooves. It's a song on there called "Sunny," and in there they say we black. I say we black Moors. Go look it up. I said, well, you know what? Let me look it up right now. And in this dictionary, 1828, black Moor. It's a compound word, two words put together. In the brackets, it has black and Moor. And it's a noun, and it says a Negro, semicolon, a black man. So a black Moor definition is a Negro, semicolon, black man. I said, man, that's interesting. I wonder what Moore says. So let's look up Moore real quick. Slide on over to Moore. And Moore is here. And Moore says, a native of the northern coast of Africa, called by the Romans from the color of the people Mauritania, the country of dark-complexioned people. Mauritania is the country of dark-complexioned people. Mauritania is the ancient name for the country where we know Morocco is northwest. Look it up. Mauritania is spelled Mauritania. Once again, Mauritania is Mauritania. And so the definition of Moor, a native of the northern coast of Africa, called by the Romans from the color of the people, Mauritania, the country of dark complexioned people. Oh, last sentence. The same country is now called Morocco, Tunis, Algiers, etc. So Mauritania used to cover all of that. Now it's called Morocco, Tunis, Algiers. Right here, see? This is Morocco. And now it's called Algeria, but back then it was Algiers, Tunisia. Tunis, now it's called Tunisia. Algiers, Algeria, and this is Libya also right here. And Egypt, and Cairo. And then right here, this area here is Moab. We'll get to that in a little bit. But before I finish with the dictionary, I said, well, let me just look and see what Negro says. Because Blackamoor, it says a Negro or black man. So I said, well, we looked up Moor, and Moor gives us much more. You know what I mean? It gives us so much more of an explanation. than what Blackamoor did. So I said, well, let me see what Negro gives us. Negro, N-E-G, Negus. Huh. Negro. A native or descendant of the black race of men in Africa. The word is never applied to the tawny or olive-colored inhabitants of the northern coast of Africa, but to the more southern race of men who are quite black. That's odd. But what really caught me is a native or descendant of the black race. So a Negro is a native or descendant of the black race of men in Africa. Well, where are the black race of men in Africa from? Because it says you're a native or descendant of the black race of men in Africa. And is there other races of men? And where in Africa? It doesn't really tell us where. See, more says very clearly the northern coast of Africa, a native. Doesn't even say or descendant, a native of the northern coast of Africa. And then it gives you where the countries are now. This one just says descendant of the black man race in Africa, somewhere in there. Oh man, I'm just saying, man, I just wanted to share that with you. Something I observed. Something I find very strange, man. But it's a lot of word games. Some of you guys know about it. Some of you guys may not. But it's a lot of trickery in the words. That's why we have to be very careful. You got to look in multiple dictionaries. Like I got this other one right here. The New Oxford American Dictionary. Well, just for fun real quick, I'm going to see what Blackamoor says in here just so we compare and contrast. Because the other one just said a Negro, a black man. So let's see what this one says just for context. Huh. Well, ain't that something? In this one, it says a black African, a very dark-skinned person. That's the definition of Blackamoor. So in 1828, it was a Negro, semicolon, a black man. In 2001, we're looking at a black African, a very dark-skinned person. So is a Negro and a black African synonymous? And is that why people from Africa don't like calling themselves black Africans or African per se? How about it? How about that? Just wanted to just, you know what I mean, just breeze on the topic. What's going on over there, man? You're distracting me with the light. I'm trying to speak to the people, and you're distracting me with all the moving around and comings and goings in the background. Excuse me, I got my daughter interrupting my flow. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to drop some.
That you understood that you're distracted, that means I can be a little louder now.
What do you need? Stop.
I'm focusing.
What do you need, ma'am?
I'm looking for the HDMI cord.
It's not over here.
No, maybe.
Please. Please.
There was.
Please. I'm talking to the people. Please.
The people that you.
Please. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Go.
Can I live? Can I live? No. Thank you. Pardon me, y'all. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you quarantining. Let me catch up on this here. Wizard Bay, also look up the Sherifian Empire. Sherifian Empire, I will look that up. How about the Berber? Jesse Mangum. How about the Berber? You know what's funny about that? I was just looking this up yesterday. Why it was something in particular that I was looking at Berber for. Oh, that's what it was. Amazigh. I was looking up Amazigh in particular because Amazigh is the indigenous name or the name of the native Berbers, the actual Berbers, what they call themselves was Amazigh, and it is. Hold on one second, let me get it because when I read it, I mean I read this before, but when I was just doubling back on it, I'm just like, come on, dog, come on, man. Um, Here we go. No, this ain't it. That ain't it. Real quick. One second. Amazigh. And you spell Amazigh Amazigh. Amazigh. Um, yeah, here we go. Okay, the Berbers are the Maori. Okay, here we go. As we was just talking about Mauritania, the Berbers are the Maori, Mauri, cited by the Chronicle of 754 during the Umayyad conquest of Hispania. 754, that's the 700s. Umayyad dynasty. Do I got one in there? Do I got him? I got him on you. I ain't got. I don't. I don't have. Yeah, I don't have just the book by itself. But this book right here is called "The Rise and Fall of Muslims: Islamic History from the pious caliphs to Abbasid Spain and Mughal dynasties" by Saeed. Oh, I'm gonna spell that one. Akbar Akbarabadi. 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 Amazing book, but it breaks down the history, part of it being the Umayyads, which were Muslims, aka Moors. Back to the Berbers. Boom. The Berbers of the Moors, cited by the Chronicle of 754 during the Umayyad conquest of Hispania, to become, since the 11th century, the catch-all term Moros in Spanish, Moors in English. On documents of the Christian Iberian kingdoms, blah, 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 blah. Here we are. The Maghreb region in northwestern Africa, is believed to have been inhabited by Berbers from at least 10,000 BC. At least 10,000 BC. So 12,000 years ago, it was people known as Berbers living in North Africa, Northwest Africa, Mauritania, what we know now as Morocco. Let me continue. Where's the name? Where's my name? Where can I get my name on them? Don't do me like that, Felly. Where we at with my name? No. Can I get my name? Oh, here we are. Sorry. From the historian Abraham Isaac Laredo, the name Amazigh could be derived from the name of the ancestor Amazigh, which is a translation of the biblical ancestor Dadan, son of Sheba. According to Leo Africanus, Amazigh, this is what I meant to get to. According to Leo Africanus, Amazigh meant free man. Come on, man. Come on, man. So you mean to tell me these people that were living in North Africa over 10,000 years ago, the name that they call themselves, Amazigh, means free men? Is that a coincidence? Do we call that a coincidence? We call that lucky, lucky one. Come on, family. Come on, family. It's right there for us, but it's not even just that. It also says, let me continue. Um, it also could mean to be noble. So, see, it says further, it has the cognate in the Tuareg word Amazigh. I can't put Amazigh, Amajegh, meaning noble. This term is common in Morocco. Once again, I'm gonna say this term is common in Morocco. That the Amazigh, the indigenous people that was there 12,000 years ago, called themselves. It meant freeman or noble. Kind of like noble, Drew. Forget it, man. Forget it. But you should look into Berbers. I say all of that. If you didn't catch what I was saying, look into Berbers, Berber. Look into that history. Look into Amazigh history, Amazigh, and look into the picture. I wish I could show you the picture right now, but if you look into the picture of, let me just see what I type in so that you can type it in and follow along with me. Amazigh people. That's what it was. Amazigh people, and then put in black. Just put Amazigh people, black. Just put that in and see what you see. Just see, just look and see. And I just for fun, I said, well, let me check Berber. Put Berber in too. Berber people, black. See what you see. Amazing, man. Amazing. Our history is right there. Oh, and last thing, the reason I was highlighting that 10,000 for a reason. I kept saying the 10,000. Is it in this one? No, I don't think it's in this one. One second. It's not in that one. It's not in that one either. Oh. Did he get him? I think he got him. The Quran questions for Moorish Americans. Noble Dry Lane. Let's open this up here. Oh, all right. Huh. Yeah. What is your nationality? Moorish American. Why are we Moorish Americans? Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. Now, we just went over the fact this used to be called Mauritania. And the Amazigh ancient 12,000 years ago. Same people though, dark complexion people. And what's interesting in this Quran questions, they're talking about our nation, our religion, which is Islamism. And then it says, what kind of flag is the Moorish? It is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. The 5 points represent love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And see, that flag represents the country or the nation you're from. You know what I'm saying? You understand that, right? This next question is really interesting. How old is our flag? The flag that represents our nation. How old is that flag? Noble Drew Ali said it is over 10,000 years old. Now that's kind of odd. I just read something about the indigenous people of North Africa, what we now know as Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. That those people, they've been there for about 10,000 years. Noble Drew Ali said we're descendants of Moroccans, same area, and then our flag is over 10,000 years old. Now, if I didn't know better, I would say there's some sort of correlation. I would say there's a connection, if you will. No? What you think, man? Enough of me talking. What do y'all think? Am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm just reading because it says North Africa, and then this was North Africa, descendants of Morocco, and then when I look at the map, and that's 10,000, 10,000. Help me out, please. Help me out, because maybe I'm tripping. If I'm tripping, let me know. I'm just reading what Noble Dry League. I mean, there's the stuff he told us to read. He said study. So I was studying it, and I was putting 1 + 1. You know what I mean? Oh, man. I'm not tripping, Malik. All right, all right. I'm glad somebody out there believe me. Jesse, yeah. So my point, Jesse, please look into Berber. It's very interesting when you start looking into all this history. Peace to Reek. Yeah, they took me out the zone, but I'm back in. I'm back in this thing. You have a. So somebody said they have a map that shows Mauritania here in the west coast of the Americas. That's interesting. That is interesting. Huh. All right. Any more? Oh, got a question. Got a question. Mornell Bay, what are your thoughts on the Prophet Noble Drew Ali divine warning for the nations? Let's do that. And yeah, Neymar ask some questions. Divine warning for the nations. Boom. Pulling right up. Well, before I even get to reading it, I think that all Moorish Americans, and people in general should be reading and studying the Moorish literature, which is the Divine Warning by the Prophet for the Nations, What is Islam, and several other short essays, speeches, if you will. It's not really a book, or it's not really, it's not like scripture. You know what I mean? It's just information. But it's very important because though the information and the statements that he put forth are things that we can really take and research on our own, and confirm things like the Berber situation. But to get specifically into a divine warning by the prophet, I don't want to read the whole thing because it's a lot. It's a lot to read. Let me see if I can sum it up though. Yeah. Boom. Here we go. I'm reading it here. I love my people and I desire their unity and mind back to their own national and divine standard, because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of the government, of their government, by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. And I got to pause for a second, because when I read this is a while ago, it took a second for it to click. What did he mean if all of these different national people are forced to proclaim their free national name before the constitutional government? And I was thinking maybe that's part of the immigration process and becoming a citizen. When you are from a different country, you have to proclaim who you are and what country you're coming from, and that you want to be a citizen, so that way you can become a German American, you know what I mean, U.S. citizen, Nigerian American, U.S. citizen. And so I was like, that would make sense, because we were enslaved under, fictitious names, Negroes, blacks, colors. These are, and European, family names. We know the names. So we would need also to proclaim who we are, to come from up under that and start fresh. Like, no, this is who I am in order to be right in the law. This makes sense to me. And this makes sense. This is how, and what he said, the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. Seems very simple. And in all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled. So if you don't know your national name in other countries and other governments, they may kick you out, they may misuse you, or they may imprison you. Kind of sounds like our situation. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principles, because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name, because they place their trust upon issue and names formed by their forefathers. That's just one paragraph. One paragraph. And I'm going to close out with the end one. So I, the prophet, am hereby calling aloud with a divine plea to all true American citizens to help me to remove this great sin which has been committed and is being practiced by my people in the United States of America, because they know it is not the true and divine way. And without understanding, they have fallen from the true light into utter darkness of sin. Whew. And there is not a nation on earth today that will recognize them socially, religiously, politically, economically, etc. God damn. My man was, whew. Was he not, man? In their present condition of their endeavorment, in which they themselves try to force upon a civilized world, they will not refrain from their sinful ways of actions. Their action and their deeds have brought Jim Crowism, segregation, and everything that brings harm to human beings on earth. Well, I'm gonna stop right there. I mean, to sum it up, to answer your question, man, I think we need to listen to Noble Drew Ali, because he was making it crystal clear way back then, by us continually choosing to keep these names and to use these names. We're the ones in the wrong. Other people are doing wrong. True indeed. But we doing wrong. Yes, I know. We getting genocide and police brutality. I know. But we doing wrong. Yes, I know they ain't redlining and on racism, and yes, I got you. But we doing wrong. End of the day, can we control them? No. We can plead all we want. We can beg. We can march. We can do whatever, but we can't. We have no control over them. Who can we control? Ourselves, man. What did Michael Jackson say? It's a song called "Man in the Mirror." If you want to make a change, let me look up the lyrics. Because I don't. Lyrics. Man in the Mirror lyrics. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself. Not at the white man, not at the cracker, not at the European, not at the devil, not at Illuminati. Take a look at yourself and make a change. Oh, come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. They ain't ready for you, Mike. They ain't ready for you. They not ready for all that, Mike. Let me close that up. All right. I'm about to wrap it up. I'm messing around with y'all. Let me answer a couple more. Boom. Answer a couple more. The Ankh. I'm still learning about the Moors. What book should I read as a beginner? Othello's Children. It's a book called Othello's Children in the New World, Moorish History and Identity in the African American Experience. And that's by Jose V. Pimienta Bay. The last name is Pimienta Bay. Jose V. Pimienta. That's a tough one. Pimienta Bay. That's a great one to start with. This is a great one to start with, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, or the Moorish Science Temple of America, also known as the Quran Circle 7. One other one about the Moors. I mean, this one has some good information. Yeah. This one has good information, and I like the imagery. The imagery helps kind of crystallize things. Ooh, yeah, speaking of which, I'll show you this in a second. I was trying to find a page I just missed. Okay, so this is The Golden Age of the Moor. This is by edited by Ivan Van Sertima. A lot of good information. Is can be kind of dense or like like kind of academic-y. That's a word, but stick in there. It has a lot of good stuff like this right here. You know what I mean? Images like that. I was just talking to you about Mauritania. I don't know if you can see that up top. Ancient Mauritania. Oh, and we're speaking about Berbers. Look into Barbary Wars. Barbary. Barbary Wars and Barbary Coast. History of Barbary. Look into all of that because that's also Moorish history. Yeah, so I would say start with those books. You know what? I don't really publicize myself too much, but 77 amazing facts. I should have known. 77 amazing facts about the Moors. That's my Cujo, Awa L, and myself put that one together, modeling it off of the 100 amazing facts about the Negro. Really just giving you bullet points of information for you to look up and research, and just different interesting facts about Moors. So I would say start there. I wanted to read these. Hold on one second, because I didn't want to forget this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get to this. Last couple things real quick. Yeah. I'll post this up, Malik Muhammad. Definitely posting all of this up. Appreciate that. 9Mar15. I'm Moroccan, and I seen a lot of Black Americans claiming their Moorish descent and using Moroccan flag. Do you consider the actual Moroccan as the fake Moorish nowadays? Okay, I think what you're saying. Do I consider the actual Moroccans they were originally or they were from Morocco currently? Do I consider them fake Moroccans and us real Moroccans or the real Moors? Um, I think I had that question right. I hope that's what you're asking. Um, no, I don't see the people that are in Morocco as fake Moroccans. Those are Moroccans. Um, uh, I think what we I think what we really have to get ourselves out of is looking at a person's skin complexion and thinking that that correlates to the validity of how much of something they are. You know what I mean? So like if it's the super dark Moor, oh well, he's super Moorish, as opposed to a light-skinned Moorish brother. Oh, he's mixed, so he's not as Moorish. Um, that game is a very tricky slope and a very tricky game to play because then it's, well, who created the standard? What is the standard amount of more blood that you have to have in you to consider you a real Moor or a real Moroccan? You know what I mean? Um, so I try to stay away from that because that also feels like it's more about dividing and keeping us into groups and trying to figure out ways to keep us divided, as opposed to understanding that maybe we both have the same ancestors, and that sometime in history, some of my earlier ancestors or more recent ancestors came over this way or was over on this side, and your ancestors stayed on that side, or maybe traveled, or some trade said, you know what, I want to check out what's happening over on the west side, and in the '60s, I don't know exactly how this happened. What I do know is that Moorish Americans are descendants of Moroccans born in America. Moroccans are Moroccans, and I think that's the genius in Noble Drew Ali calling us Moorish Americans so that it wouldn't conflict with Moroccan Americans. Moroccan Americans are Moroccan Americans. True indeed. And we don't have to encroach or step on or feel like we're taking anything from anyone. We are Moorish Americans. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think. And also, yeah, thank you, Alpha Bravo. It's also important for us to understand that what we see now, what we see now is this sliver. I mean, this map looks a little different, but on the regular maps, it's like a little sliver of Morocco. But just a couple of 100 years ago, it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? And Morocco, we go even farther back, Morocco was an entire empire. Matter of fact, while we're speaking on it, let's read it. The Moabites, and Moabites are the ancient name for Moors. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. So this is Moab right here. Boom. Way back when they received permission from the pharaohs, Egypt. It was running, right? They said, "Yo, can we come chill over here, y'all?" Pharaohs was like, "Yeah, it's good, it's Gucci. Slide through." So they said, "All right, boom, we home." Got on their camel, was on the move. You know what I'm saying? Made the trip down the coast, crossed over, boom. The Hebrews, I think that's it. Never mind. Ain't even gonna get into that. But boom, they crossed over and boom, settled into what is now Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. Just so we following along. The Moabites from the land of Moab received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. The Moroccan Empire, very key. And they weren't just alone. They were with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. So anciently, our people, a whole bunch of people, Moabites, Canaanites, Hittites, and Amorite brethren, all of these people bounced looking for new homes. And their dominion, all of these people, where they were staying at, and in habitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa, northeast, southwest Africa. It extended from here across the great Atlantis. So that's here. Atlantis was here. It's no longer here because it's sunk, but just imagine this landmass. The empire was here, across the landmass, across Atlantis, and it was on to the present North, South, and Central America, also Mexico, and Atlantis Islands. So that was the empire. We was all over there. Man. So what I'm saying is, we family. It's a big family. It's a big empire. We got a lot to study, a lot of connections to make. What we have to stop doing is trying to say, oh, no, I'm the real. No. We are the truly chosen. No. We are the truly chosen. No. Y'all got it wrong. Because, see, we're the Moors. See, y'all just the Moors, but we're the Moors. We got to chill on that. We got to understand we got to all work together. One family, human family, broken up into different nations. Got to understand that. And that's from the Quran. Well, I ain't even going to get to that one, but let me see if I can find a surah. Yes. Surah 49:13. Human beings, we created you all from a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another. And that's from the Quran. It was brought by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Muslims on the east side. So we're nations and tribes. We're supposed to be knowing each other, working together, learning, building, not destroying and trying to tear each other down. I hope that answered the question. And I didn't even realize, sheesh, on for an hour, almost an hour. So let me close him. Let me close out real quick. But thank you for the question, Neymar 15. I really appreciate it. And I think if you keep digging, into the history, you'll start to see some of the connections, and you'll start to understand, that we just one big family. We just kind of got separated over time, man. Any other questions before I get to this last piece that I wanted to read? Anybody else? Maghreb Al-Aqsa, yeah. Morocco, the farthest west. Oh man. No more questions. All right. Well, if no one has any more questions, I wanted to read this last little piece, man. You talk about, man, I didn't play this one, but man. All right. So it's funny how let me go get this book real quick, and then I'll be right back. Funny how things be working, man. right. I just posted this today, man. Where is that page, yo? There we are. The principle, so this book here is the Kabbalion, um, the Kabbalion the Hermetic philosophy, and it has 7 Hermetic principles. I'm not going to get into all of them. You should look it up for yourself. But real quick, I mean, we're talking about vibration, polarity, rhythm, correspondence. You gotta just read this. But I want to read this one specific one. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. This principle embodies the fact that there is a cause for every effect, and effect from every cause. It explains that everything happens according to law. Nothing ever merely happens. That there is no such thing as chance. And while there are various planes of cause and effect, the higher dominating the lower planes, still nothing ever entirely escapes the law. Now, why did I read that? We're going to go right back to here real quick. Chapter, boom. Chapter 2, the Holy Quran. Just follow me, walk with me here, walk with me. Chapter 2 is when Elihu, this teacher, got Mary and Elizabeth and brought them in Egypt to teach what, they would be the mothers of what would become John and Jesus, messengers, and they had to give them the game, boom, boom. So when they first get to Egypt, Elihu says, and here we go. Now Mary and Elizabeth were marveling much because of their deliverance. And Elihu said, "It is not strange. There are no happenings. Law governs all events." It ain't no strange happenings. It's not no chance. Law governs all events. Now, why do I say that? I got this right here. The book is raggedy. Just walk with me. The Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. It's the higher degrees for this book, right? Now, I was coming to read line 18. But before I get to that, when I was looking over on the left, I was seeing the stars, and I said, man, let me read this again. And let me just read what it says. This is Yehoshua, Jesus, Isa, and he is chilling. This is a chapter. He's chilling in this city called Lahore, Lahore. Look it up. And so he's chilling with this guest, and then while they're chilling, Ajanine and Yahshua, they kicking on the temple porch. You know what I'm saying? They just, yo, bro, you know what I mean? So I'm just dropping the jewel. This is what Jesus used to do. As they're chilling, a bank of wandering singers and musicians paused before the court to sing and play. Their music was most rich and delicate, and Yahshua said, "Among the high-bred people of the land, we have no sweeter music than these uncouth children of the wilderness that bring here to us. From whence came this talent and this power? In one short life, they could surely not gain such a grace of voice, such knowledge of laws of harmony and tone. These people are not young." Listen close, come on, man. These people are not young. 1,000 years ago would not suffice to give them such divine expressiveness and such purity of voice and touch. Men call them prodigies. There are no prodigies. All things result from natural law. 10,000 years ago, let me repeat this. 10,000 years ago, these people mastered harmony. In days of old, they trod through the busy thoroughfares of life and caught the melody of birds and played on harps of perfect form. And they have come again to learn still other lessons from the varied notes of manifest. So as Jesus is Isa Yahshua, as he's kicking it with this dude Ajanin, building on some stuff, some youngsters come up playing some music. You know what I mean? Probably kicking a rap, probably kicking a 16. Yo, check it. I see Yahshua chilling. You know what I mean? And he like, yo, you see them right there? They got a mastery of music. And they couldn't have just done that in their short life that they living right now, them youngsters right there. They couldn't have done. They had to been here for about 10,000 years. Now, what are the odds of that? What are the odds that I would talk about Berbers? We talk about 10,000 years, and then I would happen to stumble upon the thing right there. It's chance, right? Luck? Coincidence, maybe? According to this, come on, man. But now let me get to the actual part that I wanted to read in the first place, and then I'll close it on out. I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I thought that was very funny that I would just happen to stumble upon a reference where they're talking about some people from 10,000 years ago. But the line that I wanted to tell you about, and Yahshua taught the common people of Lahore, and he healed their sick and showed to them the way to rise to better things by helping others. He said, "We are not rich by what we get and hold. The only things we keep are those we give away." I'm going to read that one again because I had to read this one a bunch of times before I even understood what was even going on. We are not rich. This is what Yahshua said. Yehoshua, excuse me. Jesus. Isa. We are not rich by what we get and hold. The only things we keep are those we give away. If we would live a perfect life, give forth our life in service for our kind, and see that there? Got to put that and on it. Got to put that and on it. And for the form of life that men esteem the lower forms of life. But Yehoshua could not tarry any longer in Lahore. He told the peace and other friends farewell. He took his camel and went on his way. Boy, if we want to live a perfect life, we have to give our life in service to our kind and the kinds of life that we think are lower. So whatever kind of lower form of life you see, the bugs and the creepy things and the animals and, the plant life and, yes, all that forms of life, we got to give our life in service to those forms of life, as well as our own. We got work to do. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said all of that to say. We got to share, got to spread the love. We got some work to do, man. I appreciate y'all listening. Y'all got any more questions for me? I'm about this at the hour mark, and I'm kind of hungry. Oh man, how you gonna hit me with that question on the way out? World new? Oh, I shouldn't even have checked it. This is the problem about doing things live, man. Well, no. Haven't heard anything from the Supreme Grand Council or any Moorish American official. And to be perfectly honest, back then and even today, I didn't, and I don't expect to hear from anybody. Um, I've been joking around, but let me get serious for a little bit. I don't expect to hear from anybody because, in my opinion, in my belief, based on my research and the evidence that I could find, that people have been bullshitting and have not been doing their job. And the only way to inform me about, to tell me or to respond to my questions would mean they would have to also admit they haven't been doing shit. So it puts them in a bit of a quagmire. You know what I mean? A bit of a pickle, a bit of a rock and a hard place, if you will. Kind of like on a larger scale, what a lot of black activists and these so-called black revolutionaries are also up against, because at some point, we're gonna have to speak about Noble Drew Ali and Moors and Moorish Americans and all of this history. And at that time, the masses are gonna say, well, wait a minute. Y'all been knew about this. How come y'all ain't teach us this? Why y'all been calling us black all this time? And at that point, it's gonna be very hard for them to answer the question. Because they're gonna have to admit, you know what? We was full of shit. We was not doing what we were supposed to do. I mean, you can dress it up, you can try to massage it and package it and frame it however you want. End of the day, that's what it is. And I don't I don't like that people have been playing games with this movement. Actually, it's not even just it's something that bothers me a lot. I'm much better about it now, but yeah, I don't like it. And I don't have much patience for the people that are very knowledgeable in this movement and haven't been doing anything in terms of the Supreme Grand Council and haven't been informing the people about the Supreme Grand Council and our need for the Supreme Grand Council. And that makes things kind of tricky, you know what I mean, even when speaking on this, because, you know, as a Moorish American, as a Moor, I know I'm supposed to represent love, true peace, freedom, and justice. And ultimately, I know that we need to build, we need to come together. And that can be difficult when you have to call out certain people. And I'm not, at this point, with everything that's going on in the U.S. with them killing our people left and right, it's just straight genocide. I don't have much patience to be very kind and nice about it, which is why I moved away from, speaking about that for a while, because I'm kind of at a place where, it's nothing really more for me to say about the situation. It's more about the masses of Moors and Moorish Americans, for everyone to understand, okay, so this is actually what the Supreme Grand Council is responsible for, and this is why we need to have it operating, and for all of us to apply pressure across the board to make this happen, because just me doing it is not effective, and it's not the way that it's gonna work, because it's not a me thing. It's for our nation. So I hope that answers your question. I was trying not to beat around the bush, but yeah. The question was about the Supreme Grand Council, Philip Jones. Um, um, let me let me address one other thing that there was earlier and then I forgot about. Because I was talking about getting supplies, food, water, etc. And someone also said get bullets too. I forget who said it. Forgive me for that. Um, but they said you should get bullets too, and I disagree. Um, I and this is tricky um, because we are living in dangerous times. You know what I mean? Um, we are definitely living in dangerous times. But I personally, I don't believe that killing is the solution to our problems. I don't believe that killing another person is defending yourself. When people say, "Oh, what about if you got to defend your family?" I don't believe killing people is defending yourself. You may survive that encounter here on this earthly plane, but when you pass, at some point, you will have to answer for it. And I personally, you ain't got to hold this belief. This is what I feel. I personally don't think that our creator, Allah, Jah, Yahweh, God, whatever you want to call our creator, I don't really think our creator wants us killing each other. You know, and I know people always try to put out that scenario, but what if and it's no other? I don't know how many people have ever really been in that situation. I know a lot of people that have, would talk about, I wish I didn't, have that gun. I was hot-headed and, made a bad decision, and now I'm stuck in jail for 30 years. I also see that, where war doesn't stop, there's no, when one side kills the other side, and then that side wants revenge, so they kill that person. That cycle keeps going. I don't see how we end that cycle. So for me, I would say less money on bullets and guns and more money and attention and effort and energy into learning martial arts and into studying different religions, studying tactics for de-escalating situations, um, studying whatever you can to provide yourself with tools other than saying, I'm gonna just go get me some bullets and a gun. Fuck that. Cause that is where we're heading as a people when we just start thinking that, oh yeah, gun is gonna protect me. That's an evil place that we're headed. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to put that out there. I know a lot of people do not agree with me on that stance. And that's all good. You know what I mean? I'm just here to deliver a message. You know what I'm saying? And with that, yeah, I'm on 10%. I got to go. Much love. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Before I get up out of there, Alpha, Philip, Uncle Buzz, Walter, Mary, who else? Man, Neymar, man, everybody that was up in here. If I didn't get to you, I'm scrolling. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please study what Noble Drew Ali said. Study all the prophets. And most importantly, love instead of hate. Love is the key. Thank you.